Okay, mic check 1, 2, 3. Please tell me you'll heard me. Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Let's Talk with the Fan Zone. My nerves are through the roof. You all know the story. It's been a long time since we had the gremlins in our presence. So, woo! You can imagine. We would just like to welcome you all. So those that we haven't seen for the new year, a very happy new year.
Compliments
of the season to you guys. It's so nice to tune in with you guys. Okay, this evening we are diving straight into it. We don't have much time. It's already 5 past, and now while the sound seems to be working, we're gonna go for it. We've got a special lady in the house. I think Max is in the comments somewhere here. But anyway, today we're talking about bereavement, guys. If you have seen the posts that are posted on the Fan Zone page as well as Radio of Color, we know that this is what we are going through, whether it's affecting you, whether you're dealing with it or you're not dealing with it indirectly. We know that we have lost a huge amount of people over the last 6 months, and we're gonna light a candle for them as well during the course of the evening. So we have, you wanna greet your people?
Okay, guys, we see you all here. See quite a few of the regulars, and I also see some new people. We're not gonna go through and greet the people today. We will, however, respond to you in the comments because we've got a special guest and we don't want to run out of time. So Tony and I decided that we are going to leave our serious topics till February. But in the past few days, everybody has been waking up to people passing and seeing it on other people's statuses. Sometimes it's 4 in one day, sometimes it's 2 in one day, but we have been waking up to a lot of passings due to COVID. So we thought that it would be relevant to do a segment on bereavement, because when a person is sick, you can kind of prepare for death. It's not, you can never prepare for death. But if a person has a terminal illness, you kind of can, you think that, okay, death is a possibility. With COVID, people are healthy, they're getting COVID, within a week they are passing away. It's a huge shock to the system. And we have in past shows spoken about going for therapy, seeing a psychologist. And this is one of the reasons why someone would need to see a psychologist if you're not coping with the grief or if you're not coping with the loss. And also just the situation, the pandemic, the COVID situation that we're in, it is good to actually speak to somebody about it. So we decided today that we are going to bring a special person on. And we're going to speak to her a little about losing someone, how to cope with losing someone, and how to help your loved ones and friends deal with losing someone. We all have someone that knows someone that has passed away. And we sit there and we kind of don't know what to do or say. So it's the tips on how we can handle these situations, what to say, what not to say, just how we need to behave in the situation. I do know that we have a few birthdays, so maybe we should get the birthdays out of the way and then we can introduce our special guest.
Okay, Max, if you can click on the link so long so that we know you are pending and waiting for us while we greet everybody as well as get through our birthdays, that would be a huge help. Okay, we got a happy birthday to Karel. We wished him Craig's stream last night as well. DJ Roots celebrated his birthday this week. Tommy as well. Tomorrow's Auntie Cheryl, and it's a very happy birthday from us to Auntie Brenda.
Auntie Brenda Osman.
Okay, you can greet the people while we're waiting for
Maxine to join us. Okay, good evening, Verdine Smith. So nice to see you in our stream. Hi there, and guys, if I miss you, please forgive me. I'm just going through on my phone as I see it. Hi, Tennille. Hi, Alistair. Hi, Martine. Hi, Winver Pomone. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Nadis. Hi, Oriel Ramsamy. Thank you for the help earlier. Hi, Clarissa. Hi, Nuran. Nuran, am I pronouncing your name correctly? I think this is the first time that I'm seeing you in the stream. Welcome. Good evening, Candice. Hi, Andre. Hi, Mum. I see you. Francine, hello. Eloise, hello. Hi, Melissa. Whitey. Can I call you Whitey? Okay. Hi, Marvin. Okay, guys. While we're waiting
Clarissa.
for... hi, Clarissa. I didn't see Clarissa. But
Hi, Clarissa.
Hi, Clarissa. Hi, Anita.
And Alistair, we greet the guys that you are with as well. So that's a shout out to all those that are watching wherever you are in the world. Okay, so we are just waiting.
Hi, Theo.
For Max. Theo was on. Hello, Bidlings.
Hi, Bianca. Okay, do you want to maybe message Maxine while I introduce her?
Okay.
Okay, so guys, the very special guest that we have asked to come in and to speak to you about bereavement and grief. Her name is, I just want to get the pronunciation correct, so I'm actually looking for the
Maxine.
Okay, so it is a psychologist, and her name is Maxine NGONYOZA. NGONYOZA. I got it, guys. NGONYOZA.
Well done.
Okay.
Okay, we're just waiting for it to pop up, and then we are on our way. As per usual, we will light up the comments. It might not be 22, depending on how the interview goes with Roz, and there we go. How the interview goes with Roz and Max.
So you have to keep the stream.
Hey!
Hi!
How are you?
Very well, thanks, guys. How are you?
Very well, thanks. Okay, you want to speak to me first?
Yes.
I'm going to do the introduction and all those underline things, and then I'm going to hand you over to Roz so you guys can dive into what we're speaking about today. First and foremost, from the fan zone, we would just like to thank you, Max, for taking the time out to come and speak to us, as well as our listeners on such a platform like this. When we kicked off our Wednesday slots, we call it Let's Talk with the Fan Zone, just to give you an idea of what's going on. We somehow try and touch on subjects or topics that people don't like to really engage in, people don't like to hear about, people don't like to speak about. Okay, so when we started with our Wednesday slots, we started off with our experiences, what we were going through as the Fan Zone, whether it was myself or Roz individually, together, or our close family and friends, right? We then started creating awareness regarding other topics that the people came forward and said, okay, let's talk about this. No one speaks about this, let's talk about that. So here we are on our Wednesday slot. We're gonna dive straight into it. I'm gonna hand you over to Roz, and then we'll just recap at the end of it. You won't see any comments from your side, but if there are any questions, we've asked our listeners to just hang on to it until when we're doing a wrap up, and then I'll swing it onto your screen, and then if you would like to answer them, then you may. Is that okay?
There's a delay.
That's okay. All right.
Okay. Maxine, can you hear me? Yours is breaking up a bit. It's a little bit fuzzy, so it's probably just the connection. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Still breaking up on my side?
Okay, now it's coming through nicely now. Whatever you're doing, just carry on doing that.
Okay.
Okay, I can hear you now.
I'll keep trying.
I can hear you now. So before I actually dive into questions, I would just like you to introduce yourself so our listeners know exactly who you are.
Okay, so I think you guys already said I'm Maxine NGONYOZA. I'm a counseling psychologist based in Durban and Toti area. And I also am managing director of an employee wellness company. So literally, it's called ICW, or the Institute of Competency and Wellness. And we go into companies and take care of the employees' wellness. And we've actually found, obviously, a lot during this time, we've been dealing with a lot of COVID-related issues, on the mental wellness side, to the point of starting up support groups, for grief, personally, specifically related to this, even in companies. So that's sort of been keeping me busy at the moment.
That is so great. Okay, so our topic today is bereavement. A lot of the listeners and our viewers have had to deal with passings and lost loved ones due to COVID. So we are seeing it more than we've ever seen death. And it is becoming, we hear that this is just the beginning. So we thought that it would be a good idea to get someone on and to just speak our listeners through coping with bereavement. We know that not everybody is the same. There is no time limit. But if you can just give us a few tips on how to deal with bereavement during this time.
Okay. All right. So first we're going to speak then about personally dealing with bereavement, right?
That's
And
correct.
yeah, I think one of the most important things to remember when you lose somebody is that there's no specified or normal way in which to grieve, right? So, are you okay? All right.
I'm fine.
So sometimes people will, for example, tell you, like, this is what you should be feeling, this is what you should be doing, etc., etc. And maybe your script doesn't fit their script at all. And it's important, I feel, to realize that that's okay. Like, firstly, there's no normal way, whatever normal might be, to grieve, right? We all go through it differently. There's those stages of grieving, but we all experience them differently. We may not experience them in order. We may not experience all of them, right? So it's just about literally allowing yourself to feel whatever it is that you are feeling, being non-judgmental with yourself. And I think that that's very hard for a lot of us, to not judge ourselves, to not say that this is taking too long now, why am I still feeling this way? To not say that, why is this affecting me as badly as it is? Or to say that, why am I taking this out on everybody else? Or why am I upset with so and so when they had nothing to do with it? Okay, some things are not very okay, but to not be so hard on yourself, through the grieving process. And I think that that's the first thing that, I would just like to highlight. Yeah.
You spoke about, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Sorry, broke there.
You spoke about there are stages of grieving. Can you tell us the stages?
Okay, so the original sort of stages would be denial. So this is when it's like you're thinking, oh gosh, this can't be happening to me. Is this happening to me? Right? So denial. Anger follows usually, or what is supposed to originally happen, not to say that it follows it, but that's when you're in that stage of, why is this happening to me? Who is to blame? You're looking for somebody to blame, perhaps, maybe even God, right? That's the anger stage. And then you get to the bargaining stage, where you try to bargain. Make this not happen to me. In return, I'm going to do this, and so on. And then you're depressed. I'm too sad to do just about anything. And then finally, acceptance, when you're at peace pretty much with what has happened. Okay, so those are the 5 traditional stages of grieving. However, I love to emphasize that You don't necessarily have to go through all of these stages, and definitely not in that specific order, right? Everyone is different, as you pointed out in the beginning. We're all different, we're all unique, and we will all deal differently.
I'm gonna ask you about the grieving process for an adult and the grieving process for a child, because we know that children somehow adapt. But I just want to tell you what someone had told me last year sometime when we were speaking about grieving. The person said to me, because I was like, children just get over things. And she was like, no, children don't just get over things. Children are resilient. And what they seem to do is they grieve and they have both their feet in the grieving process. And then they take both their feet out and they go on with life. As an adult, what we tend to do is we have one foot in the grieving process and one foot in life. So we're carrying this through our daily life with us. So that was what someone had told me. Can you tell me what do you think? Is that what actually happens, or what is the difference between the way a child grieves and the way an adult? Is there a difference?
Absolutely, and I think you hit the nail on the head there. To a large extent, the child doesn't have all of the other stuff, that we have to deal with, right? And therefore, they are able to, yes, more fully immerse themselves in the process. And this is what doesn't allow us to heal, perhaps maybe as sooner as we could, because there's just so much else going on, perhaps mentally, emotionally, physically, at work, whatever it might be, that doesn't allow us to completely immerse ourselves in the grieving process, right? A child also models what they see, right? So that also greatly affects how they deal with the grieving process. So if they are seeing constantly an adult who is maybe not expressing feelings, not crying, maybe not immersing themselves in the process, and rather just trying to push it aside, the child is also going to learn from that and not immerse themselves as they should in the process. So that's also very important, when you think about children, is that whatever it is that they are taking in, they are then going to model, they are going to copy, So yeah, that's to do with children a bit. As a child, in saying so, then one needs to always tell the truth. And I know this is sometimes hard because, like, for example, it's confusing to a child if you tell them that, let's take grandma, grandma has passed away. But if you tell them grandma is sleeping, a little bit confusing, and how do they then, immerse themselves in the grieving process? So to be tactful, but to be honest with a child, helps them through the grieving process. When a child is grieving, try to keep the routine, so their daily routine, what they do, as normal as possible. This can also help a lot with grieving, so that it's, not everything is just turned upside down in their lives. And yeah, this helps as well. And then also the child's play. A lot is communicated through a child's play. If a child changes the way they play, or the way they draw, or the way they communicate while playing drastically, then note that something is up. See how they are communicating grief through the play, and see if it's something maybe to be concerned about. Sorry. Yeah. So that's for children. Yes.
Okay, can I ask you, because I know we're running out of time, so I'm just trying to get through my last question. What can we do what kind of tips can you give us when we are communicating with someone that has lost someone dear to them? What can we do to help the situation?
Okay, I'm gonna just briefly then give 5 tips. All right.
Okay.
The first thing, understand that there is no right or wrong way to grieve, right? So when you're seeing somebody else grieve, no, there is no right or wrong way. There's no predictable stages. This person can have a roller coaster sort of emotional ride. They can have unpredictable highs, lows, setbacks. Everyone deals with grief differently. So avoid telling the person how they should be feeling or what they should be doing. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, it's more about listening than knowing what to say. A lot of us are very anxious about what is it that I can say to somebody who is grieving, right? It's important to know that it's more about listening. So when you, firstly, don't force somebody to open up, right? It's more important to just let the person know that you are there to listen if they want to talk about the loss. And then when they are ready to talk about the loss, speak candidly about the person's name, speak openly. It's not a subject that you want to shy away from, right? So that was number 2.
Yes.
It's more important to listen than talk. All right.
Yes.
And then number 3, offer practical assistance. If you're going to offer anything, make it practical, right? So, for example, a grieving person is less likely to take on support when you say, let me know if I can do anything for you, right? It's like, what do we do with that? Whereas if, for example, you're a neighbor or so and you're going to the store, rather than tell the person, I'm going to the store and I'm going to pick up a few things for myself. Is there anything that I can pick up for you? Like, what can I pick up for you? Like, be practical, right, with your assistance. And then number 4, provide ongoing support. This is so important. After the funeral, after the crowds have diminished, it's a bit different now during COVID, but still, that ongoing support is so important to always let that person know that you are there. Don't forget about the person, basically, right? It's like, it's easy with our own lives. And I say that sometimes even set a reminder, on your phone, even if it's weekly, for the people to remember to contact, to remember to just let them know that you're there, you're still there. Do you want to talk? Are you ready to talk? Kind of thing. But provide that ongoing support. And then the last thing is watch out for signs of depression. This is something that can be very helpful for a loved one, a friend, whoever it might be. Be on the lookout yourself, particularly if you see that this person seems depressed 2 months after the death, right? I'm not saying that there's a timeline for grieving. I mean, people grieve 18 to 24 months, some longer, some shorter, but the actual symptoms of depression, it shouldn't really go beyond 2 months. And those kind of signs to look out for include like alcohol and drug abuse, inability to enjoy life, extreme focus on death, having difficulty functioning daily. And of course, if somebody is talking about suicide or dying, take it seriously every time.
So that is our 5. Depression is a big one. And I think with coping with death, coping with our financial strains and everything that COVID is actually bringing to us, I think we need to watch out, not only in a case of death and bereavement, but in all aspects, because it's a huge one. We've covered depression twice in our show, and it's one of those topics that you can never educate people enough on. Maxine, we are now over our time. Tony's just come and she's screaming to me that she has a question. So I'm gonna let her ask a question before we.
Okay, Max. So you said one of the stages that we go through. I'm just gonna highlight anger, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's often an easier route. Well, not an easier route, but I mean it's easier to be angry with that person and angry with God, and why did God take this person and stuff like that. So for anyone, I know our listeners, I'm just waiting for a few questions to come up from them, but from my side, if I had to go through the anger stage, what advice would you give me? Would you give our listeners, maybe we have some angry people in listening this evening, anything to assist with the anger?
Yeah, it is a difficult one, Tony.
I know, and especially because on our time constraints, I mean, we can't go into everything, but
Yes.
we're going to use it on a surface level. Just, I'm sure even one tip from you would be useful to someone, myself, listening, anybody out there. We get a lot of people that come in, listen to the stream, don't say anything, don't want to ask anything. So it could assist somebody.
Right. I think I would go back to what I've said before about being non-judgmental towards yourself, right? As much as one feels that it is sort of like an easier emotion to be in, maybe rather than depression and so on, it's also not nice when you are there, because especially when you're hurting others that you love, right? And you can see the effect that you're having on them. But that's where you are at the moment. So I guess what I would say is that firstly, just give yourself a little bit of a break, sort of like, okay, I'm going through something. But secondly, when you do express your anger and it's hurtful towards somebody else, acknowledge that that's what you've done, right? And don't just brush it off because I'm going through something difficult at the moment. But try to take responsibility for, I guess, your actions and words.
Okay, 100%.
Yeah.
Look, from the fan zone, we would like to thank you once again. Thank you for taking the time out to come and speak to us. It has been an honor having you of such experience coming to speak to us. So we're not over with our show, and we would like you to jump back into the comments so that the people can thank you personally and you can actually see it. So we are going to say goodbye to you, and we'll catch you back in the comments for our next segment of the show.
Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. It was lovely being here.
Thank you.
Bye.
Right, guys, that is it. We've spoken to Max. We're just going to wait for her to rejoin the stream. And then, obviously, those of you whose comments I did miss, I'm going to bring them onto the screen and let Max tackle them if she can in the comments department. Also, over and above that, what we're going to do is on the fan zone page, we do have a Facebook page. Excuse me. I'm going to send out all Max's details. If you guys wish to contact her personally in your own capacity, you are more than welcome to. Not an easy thing, guys. I mean, yeah, we spoke about there's no timeline. There's no timeline for grief. There's no timeline for you to feel the way you feel. Obviously, when Roz started speaking, she did say that, when people are unwell and stuff like that, we have some time. We have some time to prepare ourselves, to prepare and say our goodbyes and stuff like that. But when close people get taken away from us tragically during this COVID situation, it's hectic, guys. I mean, we go through our stages, we go through our vibes. It's not nice. But we are here. We are going to give you guys comfort if we can, at least. So yes, I don't know if I missed any comments, but please, there we go. Max is here, guys. Max says thank you. There we go. Thanks for having me, ladies. I'm here in the comments department. Right, guys, if you've got anything that you would like to throw up there, even if it's just a thank you, Max, then I'm going to swing it on to the screen.
Can we just put Tennille's comments up there? And maybe Maxine can just respond to Tennille. if she can see that, maybe she can just respond to that like during the course of the show. Guys, if you have anything to ask, please do so now. And then what we're also going to do is we're going to put all Maxine's details on our fan page. So if you need to contact her for yourself or for a friend, then you can contact her. I just want to read Francine. Francine. The pain that comes with loss changes us. Allow the change.
100%. We just hope that, guys, I mean, we've got our little groups, we've got Radio of Color people that just, take time out to distract us a little bit. We hope that you guys could tune in now and again and just, unwind. We know for some of you, the fans we only cry during our streams. It is a sign of release, and we hope that, just to let you guys know that we are here for you and we are supporting you.
Guys, can I ask? I know we've spoken about the stigma around psychologists in one of our first shows. But guys, can I just ask? It's not a sign of weakness to ask for help. I've been to a psychologist. A lot of people have been to psychologists, and it does help. Guys, during this time, if you feel that you do need, reach out. Go and see somebody. Speak about it. You can even just go and try it out for one session. And if you don't like it, don't go back. But try it. Let's try. We need to come out of this pandemic with sound mental minds, because the mental illnesses that are coming along with the pandemic are horrendous. So we just need to get ourselves together and actually come together and do what we need to do to keep our mental health healthy. Guys, there was something else. Yes, what I also wanted to say is Tony and I decided to do this segment and to bring on a psychologist to meet you, because we felt that we were both feet in just a whole lot of passings that were surrounding us. I mean, we woke up every day and we saw a rest in peace on a status, on a Facebook status. Some days it was 4 people passing. Can we just ask you, during this time, if there is anything that you would like to touch on or that you would like to speak about, whether you want to do it anonymously or whether you would like us to say that it was you, please let us know. Tony and I will do our best to get in touch, to do our research and get in touch with specialists that can come in and actually help. So, guys, please, you can WhatsApp Tony's line. Tony's line is numbers always up, or you can send us a message on the Fan Zone page.
Okay, so Ali has a comment here. She says, please try talking to a professional. If you're mentally challenged, you've got nothing to lose. 100%. And we've got such awesome people that we are connected to and that we know via this platform that we have been speaking to with regards in assisting us with these kind of topics. So guys, please, I think also the first stage is to acknowledge that you need to speak to someone. And then everything will just unravel after that. It's almost 22.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to light up the comments department. It's going to be a little bit different this evening. This evening, instead of sending out hearts, we are going to put the names of those that you know or those that we have lost during this pandemic. Okay. Is there anything that you would like to say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys. So you can add a heart to it, so whatever the case may be. But if you know someone that has passed on over the last few months or whatever, actually during this pandemic, let us drop their name here, put a heart, put a flower, put a rest in peace, and we'll just, during the song. There's nothing else you need to say. I don't even have the song on cue. All right, let's go, guys.
Though I'm missing you, I'll find a way to get through. Living without you, 'cause you were my sister, my strength, and my pride. Only God so fast. How could it be that our sweet memories would be all that we have planned? Now that you're gone, every day I go on, but life's just not the same. I'm so empty inside, and my tears I can't hide. But I'll try to face the pain. Though I'm missing you, I'll find a way to get through. Easy without you. You were my sister, my strength, and my wrong. Only God made no why. Still, I will get by. There were so many things that we could have said. If time was on our side. Ooh, yeah. Now that you're gone, I can still feel you near. So I'll smile every tear I cry. Though I'm missing you, I'll find a way to go through. Living without you. You are my sister, my strength and my pride. Only God may know why. Still, I will get by. We were the closest to friends, but I wait for my day when I see you again. See you again. But I'll find a way to get through. Living without you. You are my sister. Only God knows why. I will get you are my savior, my bride. Only God made no why. Still I will get missing. Oh yes I am. I'm missing you.
Oh. Hold on, I can see the sound. I don't know what happened to the sound, but anyway, we cried for you guys if you guys did not hear the sound as per normal. Right, guys, the names. Whew. But anyway, that is us at 7 o'clock. Don't forget, you guys got Darian. That will take you guys through to 8 o'clock. And then from 8 to 10, you got Craigie G. What's today? Wednesday. And then from 10 to 12, then you guys got the Wiz. Guys, we would like to thank you guys once again. Can you hear you? Yeah, okay.
Guys, we had a gremlin today with us. We haven't done stream mode for a while, but yeah, the gremlin was with us. But I'm so happy that you guys were able to hear Maxine. Guys, remember that you can go back and you can watch the stream again. It stays on the Radio of Color page. So if you want to go back, if you've missed anything, you are more than welcome to go back and to listen to the stream again. Like we said, Maxine's details will be on our page. We're going to put her Facebook page and everything else, so you would be able to go there and you'll be able to go onto it. and to find the details.
You wanted to read?
No, I don't want to read it. I was reading it to you because I was like, yeah, but I don't want to read it. Guys, we've got 15 minutes left. Maxine is still in the stream. If you want to say anything, now is the time to do it. I'm actually really happy that we had this show. We know that there are people that are here that we didn't know had lost someone. And now that we have done this, we actually know that a lot more people have lost a loved one. And yeah, I'm just really, really happy that we decided to do this.
Okay, after each show, guys, we post the link on the fan zone page, and we do a little write up. Obviously, we had Max in the studio this evening, so we add her details and stuff like that on that particular post. You guys can go back, and all these names that you mentioned during this, during the stream, you guys are more than welcome to go and put those names in the comments block underneath that post. Share it,
so.
And then just obviously send the link to those of you who you know have lost someone. Let them watch the stream. And yeah, just know that we thought of them during today's topic.
You want to play a song before we say goodbye?
Because it's tingy and stuff.
Okay, let's just try. Maybe you can fix it while we go. Okay, I see that we've got Alicia in the comments. Hi, Alicia. Alicia Hitler, I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for joining us. Guys, if you would like to, you can also message us personally if you would like the details. But yeah, the details will all be there. Do you want to talk about what's happening in the week? Our next show?
What is it? Do you know?
Open your book.
Ta-da! Okay, guys, on Sunday, I don't even know what Sunday's dates. Sunday is the 10th.
Yes. Back to work.
So how was back to work? Tell us. Oh wait, guys, before we get into Roz and her being back at work, maybe there's even a few others that have started or went back to work. My word, I forgot what I wanted to ask. Okay, just tell us how was your day.
So guys, we all know that everybody was anxious with going back to work because of the rise in infections. So luckily, this first week that we've been back, most people are still on leave. So we are actually not at full capacity at the moment. So yes, we are feeling much better that so many people are still on leave and there's fewer of us in the office. But I think that if the numbers keep rising, we are going to be rostered and things are going to change at work. But yeah, I know that the president is apparently in a meeting and
that's what I wanted to say.
There might be a verdict in this week still.
Like tomorrow.
Yeah, like tomorrow. So I think a lot of people are actually praying for a level 5 lockdown. So I don't know, what are your thoughts, guys?
Are you praying?
I would like a level 5 lockdown, even if it's just for 2 days or 1 day, because 1 day can prevent millions of infections.
Guys, yeah, so the president, in actual fact, he must be still in that meeting because normally after he meets with the council, he comes back and obviously will deliver it to the nation. We normally are like the curtain raisers for Cyril's talks. So whether it's Sunday nights, he speaks after us, or it's Wednesdays that he speaks after us, it sets us like this. So my nerves are shot and through the roof. On Sunday, if you missed Sunday's show, guys, we were talking about, we've actually changed, we used to speak about New Year's resolutions and, you write down 4 to 5 things, whatever the case would be. We now have changed it to New Year's goals. In fact, you can actually, because you didn't read out those goals. Do you still have them?
You wrote them down. Okay,
so Rose is actually going to touch on what we spoke about on Sunday. There are a few goals that we were supposed to give you guys ideas about, which will be doable whether or not we are in COVID. So, Sabalaza.
I'm actually not going to read this out like every one of them because there's quite a few. But I think that, guys, do you remember when we were in the first 2 weeks of, was it the first 21 days of the lockdown? And then they eased their 21 days. And you got up in the morning and everybody was walking. Like everybody was getting fit. Like the community just decided that, you know what, we are going to beat COVID. And you saw people that you never ever saw walking. You saw a lot of change. People were trying to eat healthier, some of them were forced to stop smoking, but some of them were happy with the ban because that gave them a chance to quit because they wanted to do that for years. So I think for our New Year's Eve goal, we should maybe try and go back to that. We know that vitamin D, being in the sun, is good for you. We know that going for a walk or trying to get in some exercise during the day is good for you. We're not talking about lifting weights, guys, and doing what you call those things you do? Planks and sit-ups and press-ups. We're just saying, take it easy. Go for a brisk walk in the morning, in the afternoon. Get the body working. Let's that be. We are speaking in our last show about short-term goals because we don't know what's going to happen. So now that we know in the next few weeks, let's take it week by week. Start walking in the morning. Even if you get a walking partner, do it. And another good one is you can save now because you can't go out. You can't buy alcohol. So save all that money that you would use, save it.
Okay, so there's quite a few. Eugene says level 5, please. Shana says 10 days in isolation period. So I would love a 10 to 15 day lockdown, but that's my feels on the matter. And Auntie G says, I think 2 weeks of level 5 should make a difference. Remember, guys, that there's always a delay. So what we would, if we go into a lockdown today for the next 2 weeks, we would only most likely see it in the next month, if I'm not mistaken, or 2 weeks prior. Yeah.
I don't know what the delay is like now. I know in our first wave, we had a huge backup with the testing. I don't know now. I think we're on about a week, maybe even a few days at max. But have you heard about, everyone seems to be getting their test like the next day. It wasn't like that previously. Previously, people were waiting 3 days, 4 days. But now everyone seems to be getting their test results within 24 hours, which is great. It's great because people know.
You're coming with all your sound effects today, my word. Okay, guys, so we almost out. We would like to thank you once again for tuning into Let's Talk with Fan Zone. Next week, Wednesday. We're talking about women's health. We've actually got a special guest that will also be joining us as well.
That's a good one.
So we see most of our listeners are, in fact, those that comments. We can't really see those that come in and listen and don't say anything. Although we see you when we walk in, that's the weird thing. Like, you can't just walk into our stream and not say anything and think like we can't see you. Your name, even if you are not our friend,
we can see you.
Pops up on our screen. And your little face with your profile picture is above our screen. So it's just weird. But anyway, we so welcome you. Hopefully within a few weeks you will get comfortable enough to comment as well as respond and reply and actually send us something. It's always interesting when we see a name for the first time pop up and say something. Then it's like it's comforting for us because we've brought you out of the shadows. Tapelo. Hello to you and welcome to the Fan Zone. A typical example. So yes, guys, next week we're talking about women's health.
Well, it's a specific topic on women's health. So it's not women's health as in the broad. We had one of our listeners give us, leave my sound effects. We had one of our listeners give us a call and ask us to please speak about this topic because it's very relevant.
Hello, Janine. Hi, guys. Just like listening. Thank you.
So
Jackson.
Welcome, Janine. So yes, guys, we will drop the topic next week, Wednesday, before we speak about it. So you can actually just do your background and then you can be ready for us in the comments. But yes, it's a women's health issue. It's a very relevant issue because I think 80% of our women are using this medication. So yes.
Guys, if ever you need to get in touch, William, Malgus, good evening to you. Look at that. I've had about 3 or 4 people that have come out. Thank you, guys. Thank you for just coming and saying hello. Even a question mark or a wave or a full stop suffices for us. So thank you. Thank you for greeting us. Guys, our Facebook page, the Fan Zone, is up to date. If ever you need, hello Michelle, if ever you need information regarding what we're doing, what we have done, we have a Man Crush Monday. Okay, today unfortunately I didn't post the Woman Crush Wednesday, but you know it's active. We have a Twitter page, and for those of you that don't do Facebook, we've got a YouTube page as well. So all your friends that would like to tune in but don't have Facebook accounts, direct them to the YouTube page. Obviously, it's not live there. We post it after our show, but it's, they're keeping in touch with what's going on, what we're speaking about as well. Right, guys, we are out. At 7 o'clock, you're watching the time today. You want to come or what? Okay, at 7 o'clock, we got Darian. That will look after you guys till 8 o'clock. 8, you guys got Craigie G with the Reminisce repertoire up until 10 o'clock, and then you got It's Wiz's Wednesday, so you got Wiz between 10 and 12. Guys, we are out. We've got 3 minutes, but we all by time we say all buys
Can we
and
not play a song?
no, Roseanne, because now it's gonna be tinny in the people's ears. No, let's just leave on a good note. You're just gonna wait.
No, let's play the song soft.
No. Nathan, good evening. Goodbye. Right, guys, we are out. The first time ever that the Fan Zone is leaving early, but the sound has to sound right, guys. We can't be.
Guys, isn't it okay if you play the song?
No.
It's going to be like 1 minute of the song.
Guys, we love you lots. We will catch you Sunday. Okay, how's it, Kaylee? We will catch you guys Sunday at 6 o'clock. All our shows are 6 to 7, guys. Unless, obviously, we're catering for a difference. We're adding on another hour or whatever. But anyway, we are out. Max, if you're still in the stream, thank you so much for talking to us, for talking to our listeners and our viewers. And no, you don't even want to wave.
I want to play the song.
No, it's going to sound funny. Like, guys, we are
3 minutes. Just play the song. Please.
Sing for them. Hey, guys, why?
Play it. Yes, play it.
It's going to be sounding funny, guys.
If it sounds funny, it's fine. Just play it soft.
Guys, I finished cry for today. Now, hey.
Just please.
Okay, all right. Screaming. Just press play. I like how she just press. Guys, I don't understand. You know what happens on this side?
Tony was
already through the roof. Finish at my cry.
Stab me.
Okay, let's see what happens now. I don't even. Hey, another sad song, guys. But anyway.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last time. It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way, from where we began. We started. Oh, I'll tell you all about it see you again, when I see you again.